What happens when, one single powerful story about an entire region really captures national attention, but maybe, just maybe, in its focus, it misses the deeper, more complex truths on the ground? It's a big question, really. Gets at the heart of how we form our understanding of a place or a people, especially when we're not like directly experiencing it ourselves. So today we're trying something a little different. We want you to discover a new, in-depth approach to book coverage with this extended summary. Yeah, unlike our previous reviews, which offered a more, let's say, focused analysis, this feature delivers a really comprehensive overview. We're tracing the intellectual roots, the key arguments, and the real-world impact of the subject. And hey, if you appreciate this expanded format, if you find it helpful, please do let us know. Your feedback really will help shape future content. And as always, you are experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation powered by Google's NotebookLM, designed for deeper, more dynamic book summaries.
And what a rich subject we have lined up today. We're diving into Appalachian Reckoning, a region response to Hillbilly Elegy. It's this remarkable nonfiction anthology edited by Anthony Harkins and Meredith McCarroll, published back in 2019. And this isn't just any collection. It's an American Book Award winner from 2020, and it received the 2019 Weatherford Award for nonfiction.
Wow. Okay, so definitely significant.
Definitely.
So our mission here with this deep dive is to give you a really comprehensive summary of this book's intellectual roots, its key arguments, and its real-world impact. We'll do this without giving away any specific spoilers, don't worry, but we really want to give you a full, rich picture of its content and how it challenges a very specific narrative.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
as key because this anthology, it emerges directly in response to the national attention and, well, frankly, the controversy sparked by J.D. Vance's Hillbilly Elegy. Its core purpose is to challenge and complicate Vance's depiction of Appalachia, this idea of it being a culturally and economically static problem region. It does this by offering over 40 diverse Appalachian voices.
Over 40.
Yeah, directly countering that idea that there's just one way to understand this part of America.
Okay, so if we sort of strip it down, what is Appalachian Reckoning ultimately trying to achieve? It sounds like it gathers really diverse group writers, poets, scholars, artists, activists.
All contributing.
Right, all contributing to a collective response to those, existing portrayals of Appalachian identity and culture. So it's really about highlighting the immense diversity, the deep resilience, and the inherent complexity of the region. Trying to dispel those monolithic stereotypes that so often take hold when just one story gets really big. It's asking us to broaden our perspective.
And it does that brilliantly, I think. What's truly fascinating here is how the anthology uses this mix. You've got scholarly essays, really personal narratives, evocative poetry, powerful photography, and through all that, it reveals the region's intellectual vitality and its incredible diversity. It presents stories that just fiercely resist being reduced to simple tales of dysfunction or poverty or some singular identity.
Right.
Instead, it paints a much richer, more textured portrait of Appalachian life than what often makes it into, say, the mainstream media.
Yeah.
It's a really powerful pushback against those easy categorizations.
And the setting itself must be so crucial to these stories. You said it's primarily set in the modern Appalachian states.
That's right, focusing on real communities grappling with very real, tangible issues. You'll encounter these deeply personal stories about deindustrialization, the complexities of core mining, persistent poverty, the dynamics of migration, and changing cultural norms.
Still a lot going on.
A lot. And the physical environments, they range from, the breathtaking rural mountains to bustling small towns. It showcases both the region's natural beauty and the really pressing environmental challenges its residents face.
It's an exploration grounded in lived experience, then.
Exactly, of a dynamic, breathing place. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the anthology really contextualizes Appalachia historically. It presents it as a site of what some scholars call internal colonialism.
Internal colonialism, meaning?
Meaning it's been treated almost like a colony within its own country.
Yep.
Its resources often extracted for outside benefit, while the region itself faces, well, neglect. But it's also, crucially, a place of vibrant cultural production and significant social movements.
Okay, so not just hardship, but creativity and resistance, too.
Precisely. In this historical lens, it helps us understand how these deeply personal stories are shaped within those broader social movements and economic shifts. It gives essential context.
And the people you encounter, the characters, so to speak, they're vital to this message, right? We're talking about real people, the contributors themselves, and the members of Appalachian communities they write about.
Absolutely real people. You'll meet figures like Granny Della, who kind of emerges as this fierce matriarch. She's emblematic of regional perseverance and familial pride, steadfastly resisting challenges like coal dust in her home.
Wow, strong character.
Very. And many essays feature unnamed family members, mothers, daughters, activists, neighbors, whose collective experiences powerfully showcase the complexity of Appalachian identity. And their sheer resilience, in the face of poverty, mental illness, systemic issues. These aren't abstract figures. They are the beating heart of this work. They give voice to a truly diverse tapestry of human experience.
It sounds incredibly layered.
It is. And the anthology itself is meticulously organized. It's split into 3 main sections, and each one really builds on the last. This offers a carefully considered progression of thought and feeling. It allows for a layered and deep exploration of the region and its narratives. It's quite an intentional journey for the reader.
An intentional journey. I like that. So this journey immediately dives into what it calls interrogating in its first section. Tell us about that.
Right. Section 1, interrogating. Here, scholars really get to work critically examining Hillbilly Elegy. They explore how Vance's narrative fits into, well, historical patterns of outsider representation, which often simplify and some argue distort Appalachian experiences.
Okay, so they're looking at the history of how Appalachia has been portrayed.
Exactly. Contributors like T.R.C. Hutton and Elizabeth Catt, they delve into themes of what they term hillbilly elitism.
Hillbilly elitism, what's that?
It's a critique, essentially, of narratives that, even if they come from within Appalachia, might inadvertently reinforce a narrow or perhaps privileged view of regional identity. They also tackle the pervasive myth of, moral failure being the root cause of the region's struggles.
Oh, the pull yourself up by your bootstraps idea applied as a moral judgment.
Precisely. So it's a scholarly, sharp, and very necessary look at how narratives get constructed and how they're received.
Okay, so that sets the critical stage. What comes next?
Building on that, the anthology then moves into its second section, called Responding. This is where 5 Appalachian contributors, including folks like Ivy Brashear and Kelly Haywood, offer their very personal, direct responses to Vance's work.
Direct responses. So what kind of responses are we talking about?
They really range, from deeply incisive critique to, in some surprising instances, maybe even a reluctant endorsement of certain aspects. They discuss their own families, the hardships they've faced, and, crucially, the often overlooked strengths and the vibrant cultural life of their local communities.
So much more personal and grounded in their own lives.
Very much so. And what's particularly vibrant in this section is the mix of forms. Essays, poetry, photography. It's all designed to illustrate the richness of everyday life and the cultural diversity. And importantly, this includes voices from Black and LGBTQIA plus Appalachians.
That's crucial. It really pushes back against a monolithic view.
Absolutely. This section really drives home that there is no single Appalachian experience.
That's fascinating because, yeah, it is easy to assume a singular narrative, but this collection clearly shows otherwise. It makes you think about how we engage with all these different viewpoints. And speaking of engaging with complex ideas, before we dive into that final section we just wanted to mention, you can find even more in-depth analyses like this one on Mindful Moments, which is our YouTube channel. It offers AI book analysis, summaries, and critiques, really aiming to inspire reflection and rational thought for anyone looking to expand their understanding. So check that out.
Definitely worth a look. Then the final section, which is titled Beyond Hillbilly Elegy, does exactly what it says. It moves past Vance's specific work. Here, the editors give ample space to artists, writers, and activists to just present their own creative work and perspectives.
So moving beyond just reacting into creating their own narratives.
Exactly. These pieces explore memory, identity, and the ongoing, often, quiet battle against environmental and social challenges. These chapters often blend memoir with some really insightful sociological reflection. They chart the complex oscillations of hope, pain, and persistence that characterize so many Appalachian families.
Oscillations of hope, pain, and persistence. That captures a lot.
It does. It's about projecting forward, establishing a vision and narrative for the region that looks beyond simply reacting to how others have portrayed it.
Okay, so across these 3 sections, what are some of the big takeaways, the key insights that really stand out? Because here's where it gets really interesting, right? As these overarching themes start to come together.
Yeah, definitely. Across all these sections, the collection highlights powerful examples of activist resistance to outside exploitation. For instance, there are stories about local protests against federal prison construction. It shows real communities fighting for their future.
Real agency.
hmm And it harnesses artistic expressions, like photography and poetry, to reveal not just the struggles, which are real, but also the everyday joys and the profound resilience embedded in Appalachian life.
Finding the beauty and strength amidst hardship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the anthology directly confronts that bootstraps myth of self-advancement, which Vance touched upon. It uses a combination of, sobering statistics and deeply personal stories to challenge that simplistic narrative.
So data and personal experience.
Right. It also delves into really intimate family scenes, like a daughter's visit to her mentally ill mother, to illustrate those unpredictable cycles of despair and hope woven into the Appalachian social fabric. It's truly a multifaceted approach to understanding.
It sounds incredibly rich and complex.
It is. It's an incredibly rich tapestry. The anthology explicitly addresses critical themes that resonate far beyond Appalachia, really. Themes like identity, representation, the enduring strength of family, community resilience, the complexities of racism within the region, environmental degradation, deep-seated economic distress.
Wow. A lot of heavy, important topics.
Very. It also serves as a powerful warning against the dangers of reductionist narratives that just flatten human experience. The overarching call, I think, is to honor the dignity and the incredible diversity of Appalachian experiences while fiercely resisting stereotyping. It encourages you, the reader, to truly understand what it means by witnessing what actually happens in Appalachian lives without someone else dictating the story.
It's a profound invitation to look beyond the surface.
Yes, a really profound invitation.
So what does all this mean for how the book is actually presented? How is it structured? It uses a truly unique multi-genre anthology format, right? Featuring everything from linear and episodic essays to creative nonfiction, deep memoir, first-person reflections, poetry, visual art.
All of the above. The narrative voice is constantly alternating. You get rigorous scholarly analysis, then heartfelt personal testimony, then lyrical poetic meditation. It creates this complex mosaic that doesn't try to wrap everything up neatly,
No easy answers.
No. It purposely defers easy interpretive conclusions. It invites you to engage critically. It truly embodies the diversity of voices and experiences it seeks to represent.
And how was this approach received? Did it make an impact?
Oh, it definitely struck a chord. The collection earned widespread praise for its breadth, its accessibility, its not just academic, and its unwavering fairness in presenting multiple viewpoints. It's been recognized for amplifying marginalized Appalachian voices, which was a key goal. And for successfully challenging that, received wisdom about the region, both in the media and in academia.
Yeah.
Got a very positive reception from regional and national critics alike. It really hit a crucial cultural moment.
It sounds like it. This anthology truly offers such a powerful counter-narrative. It really shows us that when we listen to a multitude of voices, especially those directly from a community, we uncover a much richer, more nuanced, and ultimately, more truthful understanding of a place and its people. It serves as such an essential reminder to always seek out the many layers of a story, to question those dominant narratives, and just to appreciate the depth of human experience.
Well said. And to delve even deeper and gain more perspective on this incredibly important work, you should click the link on screen for the in-depth book critique. Subscribe, share it if you found it useful, purchase the book via the link if you're interested, and most importantly, keep thinking rationally.
See the many genre-based book podcasts at Mindful Moments? Subscribe and nourish your mind on the go.